There's a strange moment that almost everyone has experienced at least once. You think about someone deeply, and suddenly your phone lights up with their name. Not hours later, not days later, almost instantly. And for a second, you pause and wonder, how did that happen? Was it coincidence? Was it timing? Or was there something invisible moving between two people long before the message arrived? Tonight, I want you to forget everything you've been told about chasing love. Forget the idea that you must constantly text first. Forget the belief that silence always means rejection. Forget the fear that if someone truly cared, they would never hesitate. Because sometimes the strongest connections are not loud. Sometimes they live quietly beneath the surface. In memories, in energy, in emotional imprint. And maybe that's why no matter how hard you try to move on, a part of you still feels him. Not because you're weak, not because you're obsessed, but because certain people leave an emotional frequency inside us that does not disappear overnight. And before we go deeper into this, I need you to understand something important. This is not about controlling another human being. This is not manipulation. This is not about forcing someone to call you against their will. Real energy doesn't work like that. Real connection is not domination, it is alignment. What we're about to do is far more powerful than begging for attention. We are going to shift your energy so completely that you stop vibrating from fear and start vibrating from certainty. And when that happens, something changes in the invisible space between you and him, because energy responds to energy, not desperation, not panic, not emotional chasing. So for the next few minutes, I want you to stay here with me, not as someone waiting for love, but as someone remembering their power. Because the moment a woman stops chasing and starts radiating, everything begins to move differently. There are connections that logic cannot explain. You can stop talking to someone for weeks and still feel them. You can pretend not to care and still think about them at random moments. You can distract yourself, stay busy, meet other people, and yet somehow their energy keeps returning to your mind. Why? Because deep emotional experiences leave impressions inside the nervous system. Every laugh, every touch, every vulnerable conversation, every moment where you truly felt seen. Those things do not disappear just because communication stopped. People think silence means nothing is happening, but silence is often where the deepest emotional processing occurs. Sometimes a person goes quiet not because they feel nothing, but because they feel too much. And that truth changes everything. A man can miss you and still stay silent. He can think about you while pretending he's fine. He can replay memories in his mind while acting emotionally distant. Because human beings are complicated. Pride interferes, fear interferes, timing interferes, emotional confusion interferes. And sometimes both people are waiting for the other to move first. But here's where most women unknowingly block the connection. The moment silence appears, anxiety begins. You start checking your phone constantly. You reread old conversations. You overanalyze every interaction. You wonder if he found someone else. You imagine worst-case scenarios, and slowly, your energy collapses inward. You stop living naturally. You begin emotionally chasing. Even if you never send a message, your nervous system is already running after him. And energy can feel that, because desperation creates pressure. Pressure creates resistance. And resistance pushes love further away. That's why so many women notice something strange. The second they finally let go, the second they stop obsessing, the second they genuinely focus on themselves, that's when he suddenly returns. Not because of magic, because your energy changed. You stopped gripping, you stopped forcing, you stopped vibrating from fear, and the connection finally had space to breathe again. Listen carefully. Chasing is not love, chasing is fear wearing the mask of love. When you chase someone emotionally, what you are really saying is, I'm afraid of losing you. I'm afraid I'm not enough. I need reassurance to feel secure. But true feminine energy does not beg for confirmation. It does not collapse in silence. It does not lose its worth because someone delayed a reply. True feminine energy remains grounded, calm, centered, secure within itself. And that kind of energy is magnetic. Think about it. Have you ever met someone whose presence alone felt powerful? They weren't loud, they weren't trying too hard. They weren't desperate for validation, yet everyone noticed them. Why? Because grounded energy naturally attracts attention. And the same principle exists in relationships. The more emotionally frantic you become, the more unstable the energetic bridge between you becomes. But when you calm your nervous system, when you reconnect with your worth, when you stop needing immediate results, your entire frequency changes. You become emotionally available without becoming emotionally dependent. And that is powerful because love flows toward openness, not emotional panic. So right now, I want you to stop focusing on for a moment. Stop wondering what he's thinking. Stop trying to predict whether he will call. Stop asking when. Bring the attention back to yourself. Take a deep breath slowly. Again, feel your shoulders relax, feel your chest soften, feel your nervous system begin to slow down. Because this moment is not about making him obsessed with you. This moment is about reconnecting with the version of yourself that existed before fear took over. The version of you that knew your value naturally. Now imagine a warm light glowing in the center of your chest. Not aggressive, not overwhelming, steady, calm, peaceful. That light represents your worth. And your worth does not disappear because someone became distant. Your worth does not decrease because a phone stayed silent. Your worth is not measured by attention. It exists independently, completely, fully. Right now, silently repeat these words within yourself. I do not chase what is meant for me. I do not abandon myself for love. I remain calm in uncertainty. I trust what is real. Feel how different that energy is. There is no panic there, no emotional begging, only steadiness, and steadiness is magnetic. Now imagine him for a moment, not from pain, not from longing. Simply observe him in your mind. Maybe he's working, maybe he's driving, maybe he's distracted by life. But suddenly, something interrupts his focus. Not dramatically, quietly, your face appears in his mind, unexpectedly. He remembers your laugh, a conversation, a memory, a feeling. And for a second, something inside him softens. This happens more often than people realize. Because emotional memory is powerful. The body remembers emotional safety. The heart remembers emotional intensity. And when someone truly impacted you, their energy can resurface without warning. Now here's the important part. You are not forcing this thought into his mind. You are not controlling him. You are simply no longer blocking the connection with fear. That changes the energetic dynamic completely. Because fear contracts, presence expands, and when you expand emotionally, people feel your absence differently. Suddenly, silence no longer feels comfortable to them. Distance begins to feel heavy. Your energy becomes noticeable again. Not because you chased, because you stopped chasing. A lot of women misunderstand feminine energy. They think feminine energy means weakness, softness without boundaries, constant availability, endless emotional giving. But true feminine energy is deeply powerful. It is receptive, not desperate, open, not needy, grounded, not controlling. Feminine energy trusts, it allows, it receives. And the moment you return to that state, your entire presence transforms, your posture changes, your voice changes, your eyes change, even your silence changes. Because there is a huge difference between silence filled with anxiety and silence filled with confidence. One pushes people away, the other pulls people closer. This is why emotionally secure women are unforgettable. Not because they manipulate, not because they play games, but because their energy feels safe, calm, and emotionally expansive. And human beings naturally move toward emotional safety, especially men who are emotionally overwhelmed, because many men struggle to process deep feelings directly. Sometimes silence is not rejection, sometimes silence is emotional confusion. Sometimes silence is fear, sometimes silence is avoidance. But calm feminine energy creates emotional space. And in that space, clarity often appears. Now close your eyes again. Imagine your phone sitting peacefully beside you, not as an object of anxiety, not as something you constantly check. Just there, neutral. Relax your breathing. Imagine yourself continuing your day naturally, smiling, walking, living. You are no longer frozen, waiting for a message. You are no longer emotionally paused. You are alive again. And somewhere he feels the shift. He notices your absence differently. He notices the silence differently. Your energy is no longer reaching for him desperately. And because of that, the connection becomes clearer. Now imagine him picking up his phone, not impulsively, not out of guilt, but because something genuine moved inside him. He scrolls. He sees your name. He pauses. There's hesitation, pride, emotion, memory. Then something inside him says, call her. And this time, he listens. Now, whether this happens today, tomorrow, or later is not the point. The point is the shift inside you. Because the moment you stop operating from emotional lack, you become magnetic again. Many people confuse detachment with indifference, but they are not the same thing. Detachment does not mean you stop caring. It means your peace no longer depends on the outcome. You can desire love without emotionally collapsing if it takes time. You can care deeply without abandoning yourself. You can hope for connection while still remaining whole. That is emotional maturity. And ironically, that is the energy that attracts healthy love. Because healthy love cannot grow inside emotional chaos. It grows inside emotional stability. So if he calls, wonderful, answer calmly. Do not rush into emotional overreaction. Remain centered. And if he does not call immediately, do not panic. Energy unfolds in layers. Sometimes emotional movement happens internally before it appears externally. Trust the process without becoming consumed by it. Most importantly, trust yourself again. Now place one hand over your heart, breathe slowly, and repeat after me with intention. I am already worthy. I do not need to chase love. What is aligned with me will move toward me naturally. I release fear. I release urgency. I release emotional dependency. I choose peace over panic. I choose confidence over obsession. I choose myself fully. Feel the energy of those words. Because your nervous system listens to everything you repeatedly tell yourself. And the more you embody calm certainty, the stronger your magnetic field becomes. Here is the truth most people never realize. Your greatest power was never the ability to make someone call you. Your greatest power is the ability to remain whole regardless of what another person chooses. That is real magnetism. Because when a woman becomes emotionally grounded, she stops vibrating from fear. And once fear leaves, love can finally flow freely. So after this video ends, do not sit there anxiously refreshing your screen. Do not spiral into doubt. Do not search for signs every 5 seconds. Go live your life. Drink your coffee slowly. Listen to music. Take care of your body. Laugh again. Reconnect with your own energy. Because the universe responds fastest to people who are no longer energetically begging. And remember this, if this connection is truly aligned for you, it will find its way back naturally. And if it is not, something deeper, healthier, and more reciprocal is already moving towards you. Either way, you win when you stop abandoning yourself. If this message resonated with you, subscribe to the channel, like this video, and in the comments write, I attract with calm. Because calm is power, presence is power. And the moment you truly align with yourself, everything around you begins to move differently.